Hey, and good afternoon, almost good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Greg Majeski back with you here on the Weather Nerds YouTube page with an update on our big storm system that is going to be really impacting the areas of Florida here for the overnight hours and then racing up to the mid Atlantic for a pretty active weather day ahead as we head into Sunday for the Carolinas and heading up for Virginia. So this is a pretty strong, potent, strong storm system. It's going to be causing the potential for severe weather continuing into tonight into areas down toward Florida, and that's going to move up into the mid-Atlantic as this becomes a much stronger system. We're getting indications of it starting to get stronger. If you look at the satellite picture here, you'd think we'd be looking at a tropical storm or something. Look at the heavy thunderstorm presence there around near the center of circulation. So you're seeing some bright yellows and reds in there, indicative of some very strong thunderstorms that are generally heading in the directions toward Tampa. So it's going to be a kind of a rough night there for tonight. No immediate severe thunderstorm watches up currently, or tornado watches up currently, but that could change as we head through the overnight hours as this thing begins to move across the Florida peninsula and starts to head up the eastern seaboard here, as it's definitely showing indications of getting stronger, looking definitely a lot more potent than it was earlier today when I did my earlier update. So looking at your severe weather outlook again, this here is for heading into toward tomorrow morning, and this will begin to change as we head through the overnight period. So let me go ahead and step you through here for tomorrow. So you see today's outlook. We're basically from Jacksonville down to Orlando, heading down toward Key West. And then as we go to day two outlook, that shifts up until right along the Carolina coastline there to North Carolina, right around the Virginia border, and down towards South Carolina. So let's talk about tonight first. Let's go through this area first as we're looking at, again, that tornado risk about 5% there in the brown area there. And the wind damage is the main threat to some very strong winds. You get there's a lot of strong winds just above the surface here, so you get a good downpour with a good thunderstorm, and you can bring those very strong gusty winds down to the surface. So that's definitely something to watch here for tonight and into tomorrow morning. Now, again, for day two, it'll go move up toward the north. The tornado risk not as high for tomorrow. Mostly going to be mostly a big wind event there along the coastal areas from South Carolina and North Carolina as we go through the day for tomorrow, heading into your Sunday. Now, the one thing that we're starting to see start to come up now are the yellow areas. Those are for the flood watches, all the way from Maine, stretching all the way down along the coastal areas of Virginia. You see it there, South Georgia, North Florida. All that yellow there are flood watches. The blue areas, that's your wind advisories. I do expect additional wind, high wind warnings or wind advisories to be going up as we head throughout the day tomorrow, especially as the pressure with this system continues to fall, especially heading through the day for tomorrow. So again, as I go ahead and take a look at what's going on here again for tonight, I noticed this earlier, and there's still a bunch of them out there. I guess they're waiting the weather nerds come out in abundance when they think there might be active severe weather, and all the weather observers are up and they're ready. All those little icons that you see right there, those are all the spotter network guys that are registered with the weather service, and they're all out there waiting to see what happens as this low comes in for tonight and be ready to document any potential impacts from any severe weather that could be looking at Florida. Now, the good news for Florida tonight is the fact that I mentioned this earlier, is that they've been under drought conditions, so this is definitely welcome rain for the Florida Peninsula. They've been pretty dry for the most part, so this is definitely going to batten down that a little bit as we head through tonight. Now, checking out the radars here, I'm going to go ahead and show the radar there in Tampa, as this is the area where I think wherever the center of circulation or wherever the main core of this low is going to come in, it's going to come in across areas near Tampa and then kind of move up toward the north and east. So as you can see, almost the entire, right from one side of the state to the other side of the state is getting drenched with some pretty heavy rains right now. And this will continue to move off toward the north as well. And I'll just turn myself off so I don't see here on the next one here. Jacksonville, up to Jacksonville and Gainesville. So some very steady, heavy rains. Those yellow areas, that'll be some indicative of the heavier downpours that'll be moving through there. And this will come into North Georgia. It's a very sharp line with this heavy precipitation. And I'm going to show you that here in the model data here in just a second. I'm going to show you the afternoon European run. And not much has changed with it. Maybe slightly weaker than what the overnight run was showing. But still generally looking at that track that's going to take it up toward the north and to the east. So Let's go ahead and take a look at the models right now. This is the European model again, the midday run-in. This is the 0Z hour. This is about an hour from now. This is where it shows the low. So we're looking about a 1,004 millibar low pressure system, and we're gonna track this thing as it moves up toward the north and to the east. So you got this low here. You've got a little bit of upper energy here that's gonna kind of hook up with this system. As it kind of makes its way toward the mid-Atlantic. And then we got some colder air that's going to tap in on the backside of this as we go into Monday, especially as we go forward here through time. So let's go ahead and step through this. We'll go ahead and step you through this for tomorrow morning. This is midnight and then toward tomorrow morning. So by tomorrow morning, you got the low just off toward the west of Jacksonville, Florida. So you're looking at areas there toward Jacksonville, Florida. Getting some pretty heavy rains and right on the coastal areas in South Georgia, and they're getting hit pretty good with the active weather there. Now, as we go ahead and step forward here through the rest of the day on Sunday, it's going to come up toward the Carolina coast there, and the pressure dropping down to 986 millibars there by late in the day tomorrow. So we're talking about 24 hours from now. Not a quick mover, really, if you think about it. In 24 hours, it's going to basically go from here to here. So not off to the races, but a steady mover up toward the north and to the east as we go late in the day on your Sunday. So the mid-Atlantic area, that's going to be a lot of the heavier rain is going to be right there. Then the low begins to move up into New England as we head into Monday morning. So you're looking at the overnight hours there, Monday and going into Monday morning. It's going to be quite breezy up there as the pressure continues to fall down to 981 millibars. Here comes that cold air coming in behind this area of low pressure as this continues to move up in this general direction here. You notice the lines of equal pressure. That's isobars in there. I mean, you got them that packly tight together. You know it's going to be quite breezy and windy. Coastal erosion will be a little bit of a problem from the Carolinas all the way up through heading up toward Long Island, as you're going to get that fetch of moisture that's going to be kind of piling up in there, kind of beating down Long Island a little bit as we head through the day on Monday. And then as we go ahead and progress forward here in time throughout the day on Monday, the low lifts further north, falls to 976 millibars. But boy, that cold air is really going to be coming in on the backside of this. You've seen some of the snows coming in here across the Great Lakes, and some of the uplift you get going into the mountains of West Virginia. You're going to get a little bit of that snow outcome there as well. But now once this cold air moves on through, it's not going to be sticking around long. It'll be sticking around for a day or two as we go into Tuesday morning. You notice we still got some lake effect snows there. But generally, we're going to see things quickly rebound here across the Northeast, just with some of that snows there on Tuesday morning. And then we're looking at relatively warm weather from most warm to mild weather across most of the country as we head to the weekend before Christmas. We already passed Thanksgiving, right? Before Christmas, and then we'll see maybe a pattern shift toward the end of the month. But till then, I think we're going to see above normal temperatures for the most part coming away. Now, the big thing coming up for tomorrow and then going into for Sunday and into Monday is going to be the travel. If you got anybody taking any kind of travel plans on Sunday and Monday, I know we're getting closer to the holiday travel really starting to pick up, and I do suspect we're going to see some major delays developing heading up toward the Northeast especially. So we're talking about these areas in here. Again, let me show you the areas real quick here. We're talking about areas here across the Northeast, down to the Mid-Atlantic. And so those are the major airports. And whenever you get those kind of delays, they tend to cascade. They're going to spill over into other areas. So if you know anybody traveling heading into Sunday and Monday, make sure they check ahead with their carrier. Is that they're going to probably run into some airport delays as this storm gets kind of cranking and causes some major headaches because of all the wind and stuff for these planes to be flying in heading into this upcoming weekend. Taking a live look at Jacksonville Beach here for tonight. You can see the surf is definitely up, and they're going to get pounded, especially on high tides for the areas along Jacksonville Beach here heading for tonight and into tomorrow morning. Marathon has been getting beat pretty much all day today. It's down toward the Keys here with the wet and rainy weather there. And of course, the main surge of this moisture where the center of circulation comes in will be toward the Tampa area. This will be coming into later tonight with the stormy weather coming in toward Tampa. Obviously, they got that slight risk of severe weather with the main gusty winds being the main threat there as this storm gets cranking and moving up into the across Florida and eventually off the Mid-Atlantic heading into tonight. I do want to go back to the satellite imagery once again, just to kind of illustrate the point of a low pressure system that's giving every indication that it is getting stronger here for tonight. It's gonna could see some sporadic power outages. I don't know if you get some of the severe thunderstorms across Florida, you may get some power outages here. But I think once it gets up to the mid-Atlantic, when the pressures really start dropping and you get some of that sustained gust going over 40 and 50 miles per hour, you get the trees to come down and possible power outages, especially heading into the New England states, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, talking up toward Massachusetts, Delaware. All that area up in there is going to have to watch out for sporadic power outages. Definitely a good idea if anybody's in the path of the storm heading up toward the northeast. Make sure you secure any kind of Christmas decorations that you have outside. That's going to be, probably going to get blown down if they're not properly secured and end up in your neighbor's backyard. Lawn furniture, anything like that you want to go ahead and secure. You definitely want to do that for tonight. As we go through tonight and into Monday as this storm system begins to wrap up. One more thing I do want to go ahead and highlight here. I didn't fail to do here, so let's switch back over to the model data real quick. There's one thing I do want to point out for you guys. We were talking about the heavy rain part of this, so I do want to switch over to the total QPF here. That's the total rainfall, and I'm just going to take this on out here again. It hasn't really changed all that much. It really hasn't changed much at all here from the earlier run, but you're talking about 2 to 4 inches of rain covering up a very large area. These areas in yellow are 4 inches plus along the coastline here. So we're talking going up here all the way up, and you notice how far it drops off. So wherever this line sets up, if it wavers at all on this low pressure, tracks a little to the east, you're going to get maybe not as much, a little to the west, so you get a little bit more. I mean, I was using this illustration earlier. Columbus, Georgia, showing maybe just 1/10 of an inch. You head over toward Macon, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and then you head over toward Savannah, you're looking at over 3 inches. So just across the state of Georgia, you're seeing that big sharp dividing line with this precipitation. It's going to be feast or famine depending on where you're going to see this heavy rain. But that's why we got those numerous flood watches that are currently up because of what the models are kicking out here for potential flooding conditions, especially in New England. All that yellow over there from Maine, stretching all the way down toward Virginia, especially heading in to the time we head into Sunday and into Monday with this storm system. All right, that's going to be your update for tonight. I'm going to do another one tomorrow morning. We'll see how things are going. If you're checking in on this recording a little later, please do me a favor. Please hit the subscribe button on the channel. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted when I'm updating new content. I learned today a valuable lesson. I was going to do one at 4, and then I got sidetracked with some errands, got back a little late. So maybe it's not a good idea for me to set a set time. Just know that I'm going to be doing another update tomorrow morning and then one tomorrow evening as we watch this storm system get cranking. Could be a humdinger, especially as it heads up into a very popular area along the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. All right, that's it for now. I appreciate you guys tuning into the Weather Nerds YouTube page. I appreciate it. You guys take it easy, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for the next update. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.